Well, we're always looking for depth, and I think in particular in his case, in Shed's case, this is a guy that was a pretty major prospect and is still young. He's still 26 years old. He's had some health problems with his leg that have prevented him from really playing last year. So we think, in terms of a minor league signing, that he's going to provide a little bit more upside probably than you get in that category sometimes, and he can move around the field. We're still putting together an infield competition, and he's going to be a big part of that, being able to play second base, third base. He can also play the outfield, so I think it's just a nice addition to the organization.
What areas do you need to address, you feel like?
I think that we'll get into talking about roster composition when the time is right.
Now, with a shorter spring training, are you going to be able to have some of the young prospects, the Kausers, Kerstats, still at Major League spring training?
I'm in a position right now where talking about spring training in general is a little tough, but I think that once the circumstances present themselves, we're going to do everything we can with the opportunity to train all these guys. But we've got. I think it's going to be a very exciting year up and down the organization. We've got young players coming to Sarasota soon to begin training for minor league spring training, and right now our organization is focused on that and the amateur scouting activities that are going on.
What organizational gains do you feel like you guys have been able to make despite the circumstances?
It's been a trying couple of years for a lot of baseball teams just because of the pandemic. I mean, obviously that's been the defining theme to the last few years. So we've gotten really good, and I think all the baseball teams have gotten really good at handling unusual circumstances, remote training, making the most of strange circumstances. So I think the gains that players have made in our farm system, despite those challenges the last few years, have been impressive, and it's a credit to our coaches and the players themselves.
Mike, at the end of this, the labor situation, there's going to be this huge glut of free agents out there. Is the club in a position where it could possibly strike for something a little more expensive than we've seen in the past? Prices could be down.
Honestly, Stan, as the process is ongoing at the league and players level, I have a lot of trust in the people working on it, and until that comes to resolution, it's not a great time for me to get into aspects of adding to the roster or the free agent market. I can say that our entire organization has been working throughout the winter to be very, very prepared, whenever we're allowed to resume regular activity.
How's the left field project coming along?
It looks good. I continue to think it's a very important step for us. The style of play here, while it's created a lot of excitement and moments and great baseball here at Oriole Park over the last 30 years. We're looking ahead to the next 30 years. There's going to be a lot of activity and refurbishment around the ballpark over the next several years, but this was something we felt was important to get going right away. And I think it's going to create a more beneficial and appropriate style of play here at the park. It's no secret this has been an extreme home run park, arguably the most extreme home run ballpark over the last 30 years. And that's just not a real healthy way of playing your home games 81 times a year. So we think this will go a long way to making this more of a average or normal type of ballpark in terms of home runs, and we think it'll create a better style of play and be helpful for building a team.
How excited are you for Paul McCartney?
Very. I'm going to circle this one on my calendar and make sure I'm not on the road. I'll definitely be here. I got to see him at a similar concert at Minute Maid Park back in 2013, and it was awesome. So I think to have that at Camden Yards is going to be one of the top moments in the long history of this place.